And there's the teaser for the first synced Dokkan Fest. How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here. We're back for another Dokkan battle video. In today's video, we are taking a look at a hint that was dropped earlier today regarding what should be the first synced Dokkan Fest coming to both Global and JP Dokkan here in the next couple of days. So let's go ahead, let's take a look, let's break this down and figure out what this might mean. So at first glance here, right, we see something exploding into fireworks, and you guessed it, almost everybody has already guessed, right? We see Toonrami, Dokkan Dean, and a few others kind of already talking about how this is more than likely the dirty fireworks Vegeta, this guy right here. I mean, it makes sense, right? You see something exploding into fireworks, you think you think DBZ, and this is what you get. But to me, that seems a little too on the nose. They have been pretty on the nose before, but I don't think the answer is Vegeta. It's possible, right? It's still very much in the realm of possibility, but I think there might be some other ways to approach this. And I'm going to lay those out here in this video. Now, let it be known that the theory I'm posting, somebody may have posted already because, I just couldn't record this when this dropped. I was out taking care of business and whatnot. However, I know I have been saying it on Twitter since the reveal, so I will go ahead and put that out there right now. So with that in mind, again, everybody seems to think this means dirty fireworks. Well, I, however, think there might be a better answer, and it has to do with this little announcement right here. In the producer letter that was released yesterday, we got an announcement for a revamp of the Greatest Warrior event and missions, which is to basically grant us a fully free-to-play Saiyan Saga team, right? And we can see here, right, we got version Z Goku and all the other Z fighters here. So knowing that, I think whatever this is probably has to do with the Saiyan Saga. It seems the most likely answer, and I think this ball here has a very specific representation, right? It's not just there randomly to explode into fireworks. In fact, I do think that the answer is right here. I believe it is going to be a Tien and CHIAOTSU. I don't think it'll be CHIAOTSU by himself, although it's possible. I do think it'll be a Tien and CHIAOTSU. Maybe possibly for linking purposes, maybe be Chiaotsu and Tien, but I think that's what this is, right? If you remember in the Saiyan Saga, right, Chiaotsu does give his life and explodes in order to save the Z fighters and take out Nappa. And I think that that's what this scene is going to be, right? I think it's going to be a Chiaotsu and Tien taking down, or trying to take down Nappa, and possibly with a revive or exchange. It might just be a straight up exchange, right? Like an active skill. It might be an active skill, actually, an active skill exchange into just Tien. I feel like they won't do another revive, because if they do a revive exchange, I mean, it's effectively the same thing as the Goku or Gohan and Piccolo. So I don't see that happening, right? It's probably more likely, I mean, it could be Chiaotsu by himself, right? But I think it could be a Chiaotsu and Tien exchange, active skill exchange into Tien, right? Where the active skill is Chiaotsu blowing himself up, and then we get a redo of the Chiaotsu scene from the Int LR. Speaking of Int LR, right? If this comes to pass, right? Like I said, I do think we're going to see a Saiyan Saga celebration from this, right? We could very much see this guy, the LR, get his EZA as well. That could be really, really good, because he actually has a really phenomenal base kit, right? When around the time that Yamcha released, he was actually pretty runnable on Yamcha's team. So, I mean, him getting an EZA now, we saw how they handled Prime Battle Bio Broly, so it's entirely possible we could see an EZA for him. We could also see an EZA possibly for the version Z Goku. Now, they didn't specifically mention it in this, but I mean, it's possible, right? We see a lot of new characters here to bump them up to give this guy a full leader skill. They could give him, I mean, the purpose of this team is to teach you to play the game, but they could very much give him a full 150 leader skill for all types as a free-to-play unit, right? Like, this could be really, really good free-to-play team, depending on how they handled it. So, I mean, we'll have to see what they decide to do. But I do think Saiyan Saga is what this is. I do think this is meant to be CHIAOTSU exploding, and that. In terms of what we could see, right, and this is why I kind of think this over Dirty Fireworks, right, is there's a lot more potential for easy A's. Obviously, Raditz and Yamcha are out of, like, these three 200% leads are out of the question, but it's entirely possible Goku and Piccolo could see their easy A, or the Grade 8 Vegeta and Kaioken Goku. I know that seems crazy to think about, but, I mean, realistically, we are within the realm of them being close enough to an easy A to happen, right? We could see, I mean, that's probably it in terms of easy A's, but it's better than what I think the alternative is. Of course, we get that whole free-to-play team. There's a lot more they can do with this celebration if they choose the Saiyan Saga route, right? If they go to the, and it all, you know, there could be more depending on what the secondary leader skill is, right? If they go with the Dirty Fireworks Vegeta, not to say that's bad, but this is probably going to be Planet Namek Saga, right? We could possibly see an easy A for the Krillin and Gohan. We could possibly see an easy A for the Exchange Vegeta. And I doubt we'll see an easy A for the Worldwide Celebration LRs. That's probably going to be saved for a major celebration. So I think it's pretty much the options of one of these two, or sub easy A for this guy, and that's pretty much it. There are no other Saiyan Saga TURs that have not gotten an easy A, so that's kind of why I don't think that this is likely. Like, it probably just a sub easy A for him, sub easy A for him, and the AGL. I mean, they could do it as a batch easy A and then easy A one of the LRs, but I mean, I don't think that's going to be the case. Now, if they do like a redo and give him like Terrifying Conquerors in Planet Namek Saga, a la the Ginyu, right? There's a little more they could do, and actually that could help someone like the AGL TUR Frieza, right? Because he wants Terrifying Conquerors around, right? So I mean, that if it's him, that could work. I could see him being Planetary Destruction, Terrifying Conquerors, and Planet Namek Saga, the Vegeta, right? And then that would open up a few possibilities. It would still open up the possibility of this easy A, but I mean, it does give you other options, right? Not many LR, I think, options other than the Grade 8 Vegeta. Yeah, looking at the list here, that's pretty much it. The TUR options, I don't think there are many TUR options either. I mean, they could batch easy A, right? Like the Bojack, the Slug, and the Turles. That's a possibility. But I mean, there's no Dokkan Fest TURs that would really fit under here, right? This dude could get a free-to-play easy A, and it would still kind of fall in, like if they went this route, it could still kind of fall in line, because I guess STR Bojack could easy A. That's a possibility. Is this guy on Space Traveling Warriors? He might be. If he is, that's a possibility. Space Traveling Warriors. No, he's not on Space Traveling Warriors. So, I mean, I guess it would have to be the Terrifying Conquerors route. So, I mean, I feel like knowing there's some good options here. I think that they could pull together to pull a celebration centered around him. They have a chance to actually do something really neat here, and that is actually, instead of it being a Vegeta, it could be a Kui instead. And actually, that would be kind of cool, because again, he could have Planet Namek Saga, Terrifying Conquerors, Space Traveling Warriors as his leads, which are his only categories. But then that actually more so than, obviously he would get a full link set, but that would actually help out the AGL First Form Frieza a lot more than a Vegeta would, just because of him being a more Frieza centered. They would definitely give him more Frieza centered links, right? we would probably see something a la the Ginyu Force, which would work a little bit better, except maybe without like the special pose links. So, or probably closer to Dodoria's links. Like actually, if we pull up Dodoria, is Dodoria on here? Oh no, he's not. But if we pull up Terrifying Conquerors, right, we could see something probably pretty similar to Dodoria, which means he'll share a decent amount of links, right, with him, right? We could see probably Coward, Frieza Minion, Frieza Army, Loyalty, Nightmare, Fierce Battle. Yeah, so I mean, he's going to share a few links with Dodoria, just like just like Dodoria did with Frieza. So this could work out, especially. But I still feel like knowing that this is coming means that Saiyan Saga is the more likely answer, that this is more likely, instead of dirty fireworks and either Kui or Vegeta, this is more likely Chiaotsu sacrificing himself. But, you know, we have about a day and then we'll see for sure. But I personally would like Saiyan Saga more than Planet Namek Saga because it's just a lot more opportunity. It is a category that needs a little bit more love. Planet Namek Saga's got a little bit of love in recent years, a lot more so, I think, than Saiyan Saga has, and I do think that this category could really turn it around with the amount of buffs it's getting. Remember, a lot of the characters also that are on Saiyan Saga, right, on the super side of things, got a buff from Roshi, who is going to be coming soon, so it's worth noting there, right? So, I mean, that's just kind of my thoughts, that's just kind of my theory, but let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. So guys, that's it for the video. If you liked the video, make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And in the comments down below, let us know, who do you think this hint is meant to represent? Personally, I believe it is Tien and Chiaotsu, but I'm curious to see what you guys think. Let us know in the comments down below. Otherwise, guys, as always, thanks for watching, and aloha.